In Buffalo, you know, it's kind of, it's a small city, so they was gang banging heavy. it was heavy gang banging going on when I came out here. And the select, I mean, just everybody ain't just out here. People going out there putting their freedom at risk, making money they can make at a regular job. Once I got hit, believe it or not, I drove myself to the hospital. What's good with it? You already know who it is, that boy Skeet, man. And you see where I'm at, man. I'm out here in Vegas with my boy, Hood Life Media. We gonna keep this going 2024 and beyond.
Bermuda, yay, man. Yo.
Man, you already know it's the boy PNB, man. Shout out to Hood Life Media, man. You already know how you carry it from the bottom to the tip. Oh, yeah.
As y'all can see, man, we in a whole different element right now.
Yeah.
Like that crazy background, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead, introduce yourself to the people who ain't too familiar with you.
Oh yeah, you already know what it is, man. That boy Skeet, Buffalo's finest, Vegas best. You already know. You already know what's going on.
That's all, best of both worlds, man. So before we get into it, just take them back a little bit. Tell them about your childhood and shit like that. How was it for like you coming up?
Yeah. Fast lane.
Pretty much like any other kid growing up in the urban area, you know, kind of grew up in the trenches. There was parts of my life where I was in it, then I was like right outside it, so it just wasn't always messed up. But in Buffalo, you know, it's kind of, it's a small city, so ain't no opportunity. So everybody pretty much familiar with how it is. It's like out there where you from, you know what I'm saying? Kind of similar. And then I don't know, but out here, when I came out here, it was let me just say it was a better scenery. It might not have been under the same circumstances, but it was shit going on out here though, for sure. Got the waterfalls going on in the background.
What was your childhood like, or what age you feel like you like came off the steps, so say?
I'll say like probably, I'm gonna say 14, maybe 15, 14, 15. Eighth grade, about high school. Going high school for sure.
Okay, yeah, you already. So you was like more so raised in Buffalo, or you was?
Yeah, as far as like as a young kid, like younger, like in my teens and whatnot, yeah, that was in Buffalo. But that's when I started, in my late teens, that's when I started leaving Buffalo and coming out here to the West Coast. Miles was trying to figure out where she was going, and this is where we landed.
Okay. So how was it for like you when you first landed out here?
A culture shock.
Way different.
Yeah, man, I ain't never, cause at that point, at that age, I ain't never really, I've been out of town to like Atlanta like once, but that wasn't nothing like this. So I came out here, these big buildings, all these bright lights, man, it was a culture shock, but.
And that weather different too.
Yeah, oh yeah, from the brick to the too hot, 100 some degrees weather. Negative to the 100 triple digits, so.
So talk about music now. Like, how old was you when you first started getting involved?
I actually started getting involved when I got out here. I wasn't rapping back home or none of that. When I got out here, I met a couple dudes or whatnot. They made beats. This is probably was like 17, 18, somewhere around there, experimenting, and then, you know, just dibbling and dabbling from there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Cody Got Beats, man. That's my boy. We still rocking to this day.
Oh, that's heavy. Facts. All right, so when you first came out here, what was like what were the vibes like? Cause definitely like over time things changed and like that.
They was gang banging heavy. it was heavy gang banging going on when I came out here. It's a little more, you know, it's still going on, but it's a little more calm compared to back then. It was like not even glorifying it or nothing like that. But before Chief Keef and them was talking about 30s, they was running around here with 30s in they joints. Like in this 18, when I was 18, 19, when I first came out here, young boys running around here 16, 30s in their joint. And like I said, not to glorify it, but just to give y'all an idea of what was going on out here when I moved out here.
Right. It's definitely way different. So now talk about how like the Bloods and the Crips, cause like coming from the East Coast to the West Coast is like, it's a totally different thing for real.
It's funny because I don't want to I'm gonna touch on it lightly because I don't want to offend nobody. I'm gonna just say back east, well, it's a little bit different now, but back east, they had a mixture of how they was moving, which compared to when I got out here, I got to see like, okay, they doing it out there back home, but they mixing a couple little things up. So, but yeah, I just want to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
They put their own little twist on it and things like
that.
Yeah. That's just how culture going to be when it's like leave from the original for real. And it's just crazy to see, like, you know, even today, the same thing that's going on back then is just going on today for real. So I want to talk about who was some of your first early on musical influences?
Oh man, the first, I don't even want to see. Man, I go deep, man. Like, believe it or not, I was back out there on the East Coast listening to Dog Pound, but of course, like Nas, It Was Written. That's one of my favorite albums right there. Like, that's a super classic. People be trying to place that. They don't place that one right, but man, just I ain't gonna lie, heavy on the Queens. Queens had a run back in my days. We was rocking with that heavy. Of course, Jay. Man, there's so many people. But I was listening to the West Coast artists too, though. Like, so I don't know. I was really listening to everything. It just depends on what era we talking about, what time frame, for real. But we talking about young. It's kind of like a mixture though. But my first projects that I had myself that I was spinning was the Dog Pound, Dog Food, and Nas It Was Written. My brother was a big Pac head, so it was heavy. But he rocked with Biggie too, but it was heavy Pac going on. So
I know them conversations used to be legendary between y'all two. All right, so I want to talk about Buffalo musical influences because, like, shout out to Benny. He was like broke the door down, things like that, brought a lot of light to the city. But talk about the guys who like put in their work, like coming up, some of the guys that you might have listened to and looked up to.
Okay, you know, of course we got Benny in you know, Conway, West Side. You know, they doing their thing, they moving. But I'm gonna put y'all on some guys that y'all probably might not have heard of besides myself. I'm that boy Skeet, so of course I'm gonna say me. My boy Dre Cash, Fliggity, Joe Lyrics, Mac Mills, K Pistol, my man Turkey, my man Big Five. Man, I don't like these questions too, right? Because somebody be like, oh, you ain't even shout me out, bro. Man, man, my boy Diddy, he was going crazy, man. Free Diddy, man. He definitely one of the GOATs. Man, it's
Now I want to talk about when music first really like became real and like a passion for you for real.
Man, I say when I first started doing it, it was really just like a second nature, for real. Like, I'm a Pisces, so Pisces usually good with some type of art form. Like, we good with art, so that it kind of just came second nature for me, for real.
Do you remember them early days as far as you just like?
Even my early days, it wasn't trash. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could probably still track down my early tracks, and even coming off, it wasn't nowhere near garbage.
Now, how did they adapt to your sound as far as?
See, my sound is crazy because, man, I done lived a little bit of everywhere. Like, I done lived in South Carolina for a year. I done been in Atlanta. I done been in California, the Bay, Vegas. I done been a little bit of everywhere. So, Texas. So, I don't know. My style kind of orthodox. It ain't just no.
You pick up a little different.
Yeah. Like different little sauces. So, I don't know. I can't even really just call it for real.
Talk about some of the artists that you worked with and linked up with, because I was just, like I said, I was doing my research, and then I see that you definitely was active for some time in the rap game, moving around, shaking around. You was with Dirt, you was those things with MoneyBag, and then down in Texas with Beezy, right?
Yeah, them real down. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be close to me to see that shit. I said, I'm still putting nigga face even though I got on a brace.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, nigga, brace your goddamn self, cause I'm still coming. Like, it's nothing, you feel me? Yeah, man.
Yeah, a whole lot of real shit. Know my nigga Skeet, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, A1 since day one, you know what I'm saying? Real shit, you know what I'm saying? All day, every day, man.
You know what I'm saying? So talk about how you how you first linked up with Dirk?
I actually had a link, but that was like a quick link. But I had linked with Dirk. That was through MoneyBag. I had a birthday, something's going on for his birthday, like a birthday bash or something at a show or whatnot. Then he had a little like after function at a little spot or whatnot. So we were just a little quick networking up there.
Those moments do it kind of make it like, all right, damn, like this shit really, like, cause now it's like you really being in the mix of the same artists,
Right,
as you know what I'm saying, make it their way.
Right, yeah, no, and shout out to Bag too, cause like I don't know, like, you know, I was getting a lot of love from them, you know what I'm saying, and that camp, like, it was always a lot of linking. If I'm in the town where they had something going on, you know what I'm saying, they like pull up, so it was definitely, that's how I got linked in with Lil Baby, as a matter of fact. That whole little play happened for being in the loop with Bag and whatnot. So like I said, shout out to Bag for sure, but you know, just
that show you that as far as when you work and you got that like good music, motherfuckers gonna be genuine.
Yeah, and it ain't even just the music though. So this is important too. And the game different now, but it's still, man, you got network, man. You gotta be in the rooms in the area where them people at. You gotta put yourself in the position to bump. You know what I'm saying? Bump into them, rub elbows with them, possibly chop it up with them, you know what I'm saying? If it's the right time in the right place, you feel me? You gotta, ain't nobody gonna know you exist or what you do if you just there. If you ain't there, you know what I'm saying?
I want to piggyback off of that. Talk about as far as like from the backpack in the trunk days to now was like a lot of artists just sit back and kind of try to flood the internet and think that they gonna catch their wave like that.
It worked for some people though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think, if you just constantly in their face, got your foot on their neck, it's gonna pick up, it's gonna catch on. Especially if you're doing the networking like we was talking about and promote your thing right how you supposed to with the marketing. It's gonna get around. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might not necessarily be a bad thing, flooding it. Nowadays, everybody flooding it. So if you ain't working and keeping your face in there, people gonna forget about you. So you definitely got to stay working. You can't be a memory. You don't want to be a memory.
No, definitely on point. I just piggyback off of that. I be trying to tell artists like you gotta take both, because like you said, like you gotta take that old school hustle, but still hit the net, because
man, you gotta hit this just like you, whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? If you be out there doing your 1-2, you gotta get at it just like that. If you go to your job or your 9 to 5, you go in there and you work hard. You got same thing. You can't play with it just because it's this. You can't look at it like that. You gotta apply it just like you do with whatever it is, whatever else it is you do. And if this all you do, you better definitely press the gas on it.
No, facts though. And before I switch subjects, I want you to I want to know what's like the best part and the worst part as far as about being like an up and coming artist.
Man, you gotta do a lot of work. Ain't no shortcuts, that's for sure. I tell you that, ain't no shortcuts. You gotta put the work in. You might gotta put a lot more work in. You might have to do some things you might not want to do. You might have to go hit this venue that you might not want to hit, but guess what? It might not be a packed venue, but if it's a room full of 50 to 100 people, and even if they are artists, you still gain new fans. So that's 100 new fans. So it's about just getting out there and doing what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Humbling yourself, not looking at it like you too big to do something.
Facts though. Now, on a personal level, I want to talk about as far as just, you know, some things that you've been through. I was just scrolling, I seen that you had survived like a headshot and shit like that like some years back. First, I want to just, you know, send prayers to you and then, you know, congratulate you for just being here during this, because a lot of people don't even make it through that type of shit. Feel me?
Nah, yeah, that's a fact. You know, that ain't me. That's the higher powers that be. So, you know, I can't even try to, you know, say nothing else, nothing really about it, but you know, made it through that, and that's to the man above, you know.
No, facts though. We always gotta credit the one, you know what I'm saying? So so not getting like too deep into it, but describe that day leading up to like you know, everything that was going on.
Oh man, it was a regular day. It was pretty much a regular day until I got smacked with that thing. But and not even saying like that, it was just a you might as well really just say it was like a fluke accident, but it wasn't no accident because it happened. So, but you know, shoot, once I got hit, believe it or not, I drove myself to the hospital. It wasn't just an easy ride, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know what I'm saying, when I got hit, everything, you know, all right, so people be asking me this, like, how was it? What happened? What was going on?
Yeah, like,
just know, for me, I don't know about nobody else's situation, what happened. For me, everything was slow motion, you know what I'm saying? Vision was real blurred. When I say slow motion, like everything was going to slow motion. It's like that thing made contact, slow motion.
Right.
But in my head, though, with the situation that's going on, I'm knowing I need to get up out of there and get myself to the hospital. So that's what I proceeded to do.
Okay, so like, what went through your mind when like the exact moment?
I was really more so, I ain't gonna hold you, I really was more so hot, like I was on fire that it happened though, like I wasn't even, that was more so my reaction on, like I wasn't like really even panicking. I'm more so like, I'm tight, I'm really more so tight, I'm on fire about it, but I could laugh about it now, but I really was more so, I was tight about that. I'm still tight, but I ain't that tight, like I'm still here, I ain't complaining. But yeah, I was on fire.
No, facts though. I started off asking that question as far as asking how was your day, because I be trying to talk to the youngers and they be like, they don't know just how fast.
Yeah, just that fast. It was just a regular day. A regular day. But that's how it happened though, like just like that. You be sitting there and you get a call, man, you heard about such and such, you out of there. So and then on top of that, if we gonna be on this ain't even got nothing to do with that specific situation. But since you're talking about the young boys, man, I don't know. I just advise all the young boys to get some money because the street shit dead. It's over with. Somebody gonna tell on you. You might not be built for it when they're trying to smack you for that time. You might tell on somebody, and then you gonna hit the yard thinking it's sweet. It ain't gonna be sweet. They gonna get you up out of there. You act like you ain't gonna get up out of there. They gonna get you up out of there, and then you gonna be somewhere on the PC yard, and then you gonna come home, and you ain't gonna have no dignity as a man, and ain't nobody gonna want to rock with you, and that just ain't the way to go. So just prison ain't even the way to go, for real. There's so many ways out here to get money now. You ain't even got to be in the street. And then the young boys be in the streets just out here beefing and not even trying to get no money. So that's where it's really crazy. Like, y'all out here beefing, it don't even be about the money. I did it too, though. That's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. So, like, that ain't even it, man. There's so many ways to get some money out here nowadays to be.
And I feel like as time goes on, like I'm piggyback on what you said. As time goes on, like I get like back in the day, had to hustle. They wasn't giving jobs and opportunities, and
there's so many ways to get some money now, bro. You could pick up a camera like this. You could blog. You could do a podcast. People, the stocks and the crypto. On top of that, you gotta start switching it up. Like, man, getting your credit right, being able to fandangle with your credit. You could get properties, all type, man, the things that we wasn't growing up being taught nowadays is more accessible. I feel like it's more out there, so we just got to start taking more advantage of the opportunities and just stepping outside the box and just, because that other stuff ain't, man. How many, just think about it, how many people y'all really know that's trapping it in the streets that's really having it, though? It's like just one in a select. I mean, everybody ain't just out here. People going out there putting their freedom at risk, making money they can make at a regular job. Shit be crazy for real.
Oh, facts though. Now just growing up and just living through some things. What was some of the craziest things that you seen? Like you might have seen like homies that you was in school with, and then you run into them and they getting high now somewhere on the corner or.
I ain't really got too many. I ain't got too many homies that's on that, but people I know, you know what I'm saying, the pills, they out here off the pills, all types of crazy. It's more so not even that, it's just more so people that they'll just call crazy time, but they gone, like more so of that. Like it's a lot of people where I'm from, especially around in my neighborhood. They out of there, you feel me? Like they gone, like in my whole little area, you feel me? It's been a lot of casualties, and they done took a lot too. It's crazy over there. So just seeing people here get up out of there, seeing people catch all day, like that, y'all don't be ready for that when they talking about some 40 years. Like, that shit crazy. You ain't gonna get to see him. You get that call every now and then, you know what I'm saying? Try to keep him in good spirits, and that's about all you can do.
So I want you to give some advice to
Get your money. Get some money. Stay out the way. I can't say don't trust nobody because you're going to have to try to put some type of trust in somebody, but, you know what I'm saying, don't trust too many, you know what I'm saying, be safe with your moves, don't count your eggs before they hatch, you know what I'm saying, stack your money, save your money, don't be trying to keep up with the Joneses, think about the long plan, what you going to do in the long run, because you're going to get the money, you getting the money, you know what I'm saying, what you going to do with it if you really, for those who really having it, you know what I'm saying, that's the thing, when you having it, what you going to do with it, how you going to turn into this, just trying to have a plan to convert from, to get out, you know what I'm saying, to get on, you know what I'm saying, something legitimate, not thinking you got to stay in the box, you know what I'm saying, get it, man, if you good at this, you want to try something, man, do it, man, don't worry about what nobody say, they not going to pay you.
And one of the last ones, what's some advice you can give about dealing with peer pressure? Cause that's something I feel like all the youth
I was just about to say
like,
that's
heavy.
Man, a lot of the people when you young that you're gonna get the peer pressure from, you ain't even gonna see them later on in life. For real, if you think about it, like that's usually like some high school stuff. People go their own ways, their own paths after that. So like, man, don't let nobody trick you into doing something they ain't doing it. Peer pressure. Oh yeah, you show me how it's done. Since you know what I'm saying, you show me. You right. I don't know. You right. I don't know. You show me. You do it. Oh, you don't want to do it? Don't be no clown, man. Don't let nobody talk you into something that you know you ain't got no business doing. You ain't comfortable doing. You know it's the wrong thing. Like. That don't mean nothing, man. Don't mean nothing. And people gonna forget about that by the next week anyway. So, and be you, be yourself, be proud to be yourself. That's what make you unique. That's why God made you who you is, not to be like everybody else, but to be yourself.